sharing on financial health. What is it and why is it important? Let's do an exercise before we start, shall we? Gently close your eyes and imagine that you want to earn an income. And you decided to be a good worker that does food delivery or drive an e-hailing ride like Grab. You work and you will receive your payment online. You know the importance of health insurance and saving money. Imagine if you got into an accident and you broke some bones. You needed money to cover the operation costs. Health insurance could have covered the sudden high expenses. Unfortunately, you don't know where to start, who to trust, or which insurance plan to choose from. You also know saving money is important for your future, as there will be unexpected or emergency expenses, or just saving for your retirement. However, you too don't know where to start. You don't know where to save your money to make it grow. You may open up your eyes now. What you have imagined is an Let's all ask ourselves before we go into the session. So what will I get out of this session? You'll know what is financial inclusion and financial health. Why is it relevant and why is it important? And there will be some case study that I'll share with you in regards to financial health and gig workers. And before we close, we will wrap up with key takeaways. So how many of you here have heard of financial inclusion and financial health? Are they the same? Are they different? Or maybe some of you have even heard of financial literacy. How are they all different? So financial inclusion are the availability and equality of opportunities to access financial services. So for you here, how many of you have bank accounts? I believe most of you here have bank accounts, or all of you here have bank accounts. Have you ever heard of anyone who doesn't have a bank account? So having access to bank account is a part of financial inclusion, where a person or a customer have access to financial services. Whereas for financial health, there are 3 pillars. There's financial security, which is the ability to meet ongoing commitments now and in the future and under adverse circumstances. So imagine you have your day-to-day expenditure and you have your future expenditure. An example right now, there's COVID-19. I'm sure a lot of people have been affected by the situation where there are unexpected expenses to be incurred. So that's financial security. And then there's financial control. The feeling of control over one's finances, reflecting a sense of self-efficiency and confidence, and one's financial situation now and looking to the future. So, think about your expenses. Do you feel like you have control over your finances? And the third one is financial freedom. The ability to meet one's financial goals and enjoy life on one's term. So, think about those things that you enjoy doing. Are you able to pay for it? Are you able to use your income to pay for for the things that you enjoy in life? So this is very subjective and differs from people to people. So financial health is the ability to meet one's ongoing commitments, now and in future, and under adverse circumstances. 2, feel in control of one's finances. And the third pillar is the ability to meet one's financial goal and enjoy things one values. Financial inclusion does not automatically mean financial health. Here I'd like to share with you some data. In Kenya, 83% of people were financially included. However, the percentage of financially healthy adults dropped to 22% in 2019. On your left, you can see the financial inclusion graph. Look at the blue line, formal, it's on an upward trend. So it's going up, people were included. However, if you look on the graph, the image on the right, financial health, in 2019, it has dropped to 22%. In the US, you can see that there are people who are not financially healthy too. On the right, you can see 29% are only financially healthy. There are people who have access to bank accounts and financial services. However, there are individuals struggling with their financial lives. Here, I want to share with you the financial health in Malaysia. There is a study done by AKPK on financial behavior and state of financial well-being of Malaysian working adults. I must say this is a survey done which have very interesting insight. So Malaysian adults score the lowest on the financial resilience component of financial health. This study have revealed that the ability to make ends meet or feeling comfortable with current financial position or financial resilience, overall financial well-being, the 4 bar here, they are all very low as you can see. So that's a brief introduction on financial health. So why financial health? Let's ask ourselves, why financial health? So why is financial health important? I'll just share with you 3 pointers here on why they're important. The first one is it defines impact in ways that are more customer-centric. Remember the 3 pillars that I shared? The third pillar is financial freedom. It's subjective, right? So it embodying the principle that impact can mean different things to different people and is best defined by individuals themselves. 2, it measures what matters. Unlike financial inclusion, it's just one way of measuring, which is the number of people having access to financial products. And 3, it recognizes context. It's a different range of factors is at play in regards to an individual's financial lives. Here's something interesting that I would like to share with you. It's financial health and the gig economy. We have done a research on gig economy and would like to share some findings with you. So what is gig economy? Remember the exercise that we did at the beginning of the session? That you're a gig worker as a Grab driver or a person who delivers food. So gig economy comes in various forms. There's platform economy, sharing economy, crowdsourcing economy. So they are not a formal employee and they do not have a long-term contractual relationship with the employer. They generally use tech platforms. I'd like to share with you how COVID-19 impacts on informal gig workers. Here we did a research here on a job platform for gig workers. 76% of the sample indicated a reduction in income due to COVID-19. 75% of the sample indicated that COVID-19 put a strain on their essential needs. Think about it, 75% people feel that with COVID-19 it put a strain on their essential needs, and nearly 60% sought government assistance. Here, you can see that how financial health is important. How is it important that we plan and measure our financial health? I'd like to share with you an insights from our research with gig workers. So you can see a bar on the right. If you look at the blue means comfortable, where the gig workers are comfortable to deal with a financial emergency of 1,000 ringgit. The first bar, you can see that overall, only 18.8% are comfortable to deal with a financial emergency of 1,000 ringgit. This is really low. As you can see, it's generally pretty low if you are even female, male, annual income less than 12,000. They are generally low. However, if you see the frequency of saving, when the frequency of saving is often, you can see it increases, the comfortable level increases to deal with a financial emergency of 1,000 ringgit. And if you see at frequency of saving never, where they never save, only 8.8% feels comfortable. So this shows that if you save often, you are comfortable to deal with an emergency. So you can see here pod user and non-pod user. I would share with you, they are partners that we work with, and I'll share with you later what they do. So this is a quote that we got from the part-time dispatch worker for our research. What does one says about financial health? So to him, financial health is about getting to do what you want without worrying where the money is going to come from. It's about financial independence and no obligation to anyone. So now you know what financial health is. Let's ask ourselves, what can we do? What can you do with this new knowledge or this new info? So step one, you could gather data. If you are from a relevant company, you can start measuring the financial health of your end client. And if you're an individual, maybe you could reflect and measure your own financial health with the 3 pillars. There are some indicators here which you could help when you measure your financial health. So you're financially healthy when here we've broken down to 4: spend, save, borrow, plan. When you spend less than your income, or you can pay your bills on time and in full. And saving, where you have sufficient living expenses and liquid saving, or having sufficient long-term saving or assets. Or borrow, when you have sustainable debt load, or have a prime credit scores. And the last one is plan, when you have a proper insurance or plan ahead for expenses. So here I'd like to share with you that the third one is that you could explore and innovate products or services. So here I'll just share with you some of our partners that we work with. On the left, you can see GoGet. So GoGet is a demand workforce technology powered by a network of verified people called go-getters to work. And they connect businesses to workers. And Pod, which I mentioned just now, they are a micro-saving app that helps Malaysians to save money for specific goals. So you can save as little as 10 cents by rounding up the user's leftover change and transfer it into savings. And so how we work with is that GoGet and Pod became our partner. They were one of our selected teams for our B40 challenge last year. So go-getters, the go-getters on their app, when they completed a job, example, they did a delivery from point A to point B for 40 ringgit, and they would like to save some money, say example 10% of that is 4 ringgit, they could click, just by a click of a simple button, they could just transfer that 4 ringgit to savings. So it makes their savings journey easier. Remember the first exercise that we did where you're a Grab driver or Grab delivery? You don't know how to save or where to save. So ultimately, it's how do we create a product that user can use to really improve their financial health. Here, they are able to save easily. And here on the right, you can see a logo that is Senang. So Senang is a on-demand insurance platform that allows MSME to get a one-off coverage to insure what one wants. And the last one is Hey Alfred, where they help you to consolidate all your expenditure to help you achieve your saving goals. By knowing all your expenditure, you know where your expenditure are. So here are some of the products and services that we could explore or use to improve financial health. So what are the key takeaways here? The first one is financial inclusion does not automatically mean financial health. We know the differences between financial inclusion and financial health. 2 is financial health is a holistic approach. That's the 3 pillars that I shared: financial security, financial control, and financial freedom. And 3rd, with the study that we did, financial health of gig workers compromise on many counts due to unpredictable income and lack of income protection benefits. And the last one is to really explore new products or services that can improve financial health. So if you are an individual and you would like to improve your financial health, You could explore for services and products out there that could help you to achieve or improve your financial health. So achieve like your financial freedom, to have some sense of control, and also, financial security where it helps you to fulfill your commitment, your day-to-day financial commitment, or in the future. So if you're a company or if you're from a startup, think of a question where how could we innovate and create a product where you can improve financial health? You don't necessarily need to be a fintech. So example, GoGet, they are go-getters. They are on-demand platform for workers. They are not a fintech, but with the partners that they did, with the partnership with Pod, they're able to provide a service for their go-getters to improve their financial health. So here, I would like to spend more time on Q&A session. So I'd like to open the floor if you have any questions, or if I could share more insights and more experiences that we have working with partners in terms of financial health. I would like to make it more interactive here. So let's proceed with the Q&A.
Should we go to the